very satisfied that we continue to win in a grinded out fashion. Myself, I'm really still trying to learn this team as it is right now. And I know that sounds funny when you're 25 games into the season, but we're throwing a curveball with Ashley's injury, and then now trying to fit her back into the rotation, trying to be very comfortable with our rotation as it is. So I just think we've been a little bit discombobulated. That was a very frustrating game to be associated with. I'm sure that it was a little tough to watch when it was a lot of standing around, a lot of chippiness, and a lot of fouls. I think it was over 50 fouls in the game. So it prolonged the game so much for speeding up the flow of the game with all the new rule changes. When it just seems like with CAA is a zone league, and we're standing around, and it just wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. So we need to be better. We need to be better. Need to come out. There are going to be games like this as we head down to the Showplace Arena in Maryland in a tournament. It was kind of like a tournament atmosphere game, and sometimes you listen to the NBA, and I watched the Clippers and the Warriors last night, and they said it was a playoff type atmosphere, and because of the crowds and whatnot. And I thought our game today was a playoff type game for CAA. Not because it was so exciting, but because it was just a grinded out type game, a kind of game where we didn't shoot the ball well, where defense was going to prevail, and learned how to win a basketball game that way. So we weren't very smooth. It was fortunate for us that Ashley was able to hit a couple shots. We just could not make shots. And obviously that's stating the obvious. That's part of our game. But when we can really get on a roll, it seems like the basket gets bigger and bigger, and we weren't able to do that today. I thought Jasmine was uncharacteristically off in her shot, and I don't expect Jasmine to make every one, but I think she's always pretty close in making every one. And tonight there were a few that she just wasn't close to making. Haley Barron struggled a little bit. We didn't shoot the ball from the free throw line very well. So with all that said, we're very fortunate to come away with a victory, very happy that we were able to come away with a victory. And but we need to get better, and the kids understand that, and we'll start preparing for UNC Wilmington very shortly.
You weren't in love with the way the team played Friday night. You're obviously not happy with the way the team's playing today. With 4 games remaining, are you have any concerns going into this final stretch?
Well, I think you always have concerns. I'm sure that they're 6-20 and they have concerns. We're 20-5 and we have concerns, and I think everybody in the middle has concerns. That's just what we do. It's who we are. I don't think we're playing our best basketball. I think we're playing well. Compared to the rest of the league, I think we're playing as well, better than anyone else. Obviously with our record. But if you're a coach and you're a perfectionist and you know the capabilities of your kids, it's your job to continue to push them. We've been the last 2 years, 29, 20, 50, 58 and 10, and I'm sure I wasn't satisfied in those years until we won the championship. And that's just the way. That's our mentality. That's the way we are. We talked about it at the end of the game to the kids. We just need to continue to get better to develop a championship mentality. When you look at it, and that's one of the things I have to do. I'm pushing them. I'm pushing them to get to that point where we're playing our best basketball. And along the way, we don't do a lot of patting on the back. And when you can go out and what we won, we were up 29 with a minute to go against William & Mary. Yeah, there were some things we didn't do well. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say them a whole lot, but then tonight we win by 15 or 16 points. All right, that's no one in the CAA, no one else is doing that. So we're playing well. All right, but I just know that there's some things that we need to shore up that will help us become the team that we want to be, and that's just our mentality. It always has been, and that's what we'll continue to do until we can cut down on that.
On a night where you struggled some offensively, do you take any solace in the effort on the defensive end of the court?
I thought we played well defensively. I thought we got a little bit bored is a strong word, but they were running the same offense over and over, and they were trying to exploit certain different things. And I thought we made a couple mistakes at the end that they'd already covered several times before. So we need to sharpen ourselves throughout the game, but part of it was because we're putting different kids in. Ashley's coming back. She's a little fatigued. She made a couple mental mistakes and gave them a couple of easy baskets. But we just didn't, we didn't capitalize on the defensive end like I wanted to. And usually we generate our offense with our defense. But you give them credit; they weren't sending people to the rim, to the offensive glass. They were sending people back to guard us from the fast break. And that's their game plan. So when you do that, you give up opportunities to get second chance points. But you stop us in transition, so it's going to make for a slower type basketball game.
Ashley has, I think, now 25 points in her 2 games. Is that the return you expected?
No, I thought she'd be a lot better than. No, yeah. And you know what? Really, the main thing about her, what we wanted to try to accomplish this weekend, was to get her some cardio, really get her some game action. And she really hadn't had practice. She didn't. That's her first live action in 5 weeks, Friday night, and we were just really testing it to see. We simulated a couple possessions with our practice squad, but it was nothing live. And then we let her shoot a little bit, and we were seeing it. When she moved so well that we were like, okay, let's just see what happens. And we plan to get her, maybe 10 minutes Friday night. Try to increase it a little bit tonight. I think we did that. So she's going to be sore, but I didn't know what to expect as far as her point production. We just wanted to really get her some cardio, and I think we accomplished that. But the 25 points is a plus, and it's almost like she didn't miss a beat. It actually may have helped her out, slowed her down a little bit. We call her a Tasmanian devil because she's just a little wild and goes fast, and sometimes she sees things that we don't see. And she, like that pass, the first pass she made tonight, I'm like, you play for James Madison, not Towson, and so it's just little things like that. And but she was a big boost for us, and we needed her all weekend.
Anything else? Just gonna ask one more quick. You stayed between the same about 7 players the second half. What was your thought process behind those rotations?
Every game is different. Every team is different, and we knew we wanted to shorten it a little bit. I thought Friday night it was a little bit. It was a little chaotic for me. I think we played all 11 players in the first quarter, and it got to the point where I'm like, okay, I wasn't really focusing on the game. It was more like managing minutes, and as you get towards the conference play, a lot of that happens. You shorten your rotation, and you really go to about an 8-9 person rotation at the most, and it just kind of wanted to see. And it was kind of a game that I didn't see a lot of things that I liked in the beginning from some of the kids. I thought it was going to be chippiness. I thought it was going to be a physical basketball game. And it was. It was evident by the 50-plus fouls. So it's just one of those games. We're going to come out against UNC Wilmington. It could be different because we're still searching for that rotation. So nothing's set in stone right now. I'm still going to evaluate every situation and then try to determine, a really good rotation as we head into conference tournament play.